guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Saturday, March 27th at 7 p.m. Excuse me while I get situated here. And yay, ready to go tonight. And boy, have I got a neat broadcast for you. Okay, first of all, announcements. Yippee! Hi, Stephanie. Okay. So the next things that are coming up, let me look and see, is on Thursday we have Jillian Wilson from Jolt Book, and she will be here. I can't wait for her. Her artistic talents are great. She's a publisher, and she also has her own coloring book, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And you guys met Jillian, and we had a lot of fun. Rita from Guatemala. Hello. Okay. Then, Thursday, no. Hold on. I forgot on the 31st of March. So Jillian's here April 1st. Sorry. So Jillian's April 1st. And, Ruth Sanderson is having her own demo of The Fox's Journey. You need to belong to her group in order to watch that, so you need to, join that group. All right, we'll get this straightened around. And then Tuesday, April 6th, Jeff Haney is going to be back in. And hi, Virginia. Jeff Haney's going to be in, and we're going to finish up. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, we had so much fun with that. Okay. We're going to be finishing up Jeff Haney's coloring. And I've seen a lot of them that you guys are posting. Oh my gosh, guys. You guys are doing a wonderful, wonderful job. Proud of you. Okay. So tonight I have a special broadcast for you, and just something a little bit different, but it's related obviously to adult coloring, and I think you're going to love it. Okay, so let me go through the awkward switch here. We'll get you squared away. Whoop. Hold on as I get my act together more or less. There we go. All right. So let me get you. And there you go. Excuse my hand that I always seem to get in there. And let me go ahead and get a little more distance on the camera. There we go. All right. So let me get you squared up and focused. And also let me make sure that my voice control is on. There we go. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. There we go. Okay, guys, I'm so excited about this. So this is something different, but related. Okay. So I got this really neat mailing today. This book came in. And this book is from Virginia Dare Burnett. Virginia, thank you so much. I really do think you're going to like this. So this book, as the title says, is 50 Ways to Draw Your Beautiful Ordinary Life. And it's by Irene Smit and Astrid van der Hulst, and the illustrators of Flow, it's called. So I really would like you to take a look at this and watch. So today is 3/27/21, and this is from Virginia. Oops, Virginia Dare Burnett. Virginia, thank you so much. I've been having a ball going through this. And I've got so many ideas from it already. Okay, so here's the deal with this book, guys. The whole idea of this book is to give you a very simple and non-complex way to draw and to add images to your coloring pages. See, the Dare Burnett threw me, so because I know you, of course, is Virginia Dare, so thank you, thank you, thank you. So the idea of the book, guys, oh, and by the way, I discovered, I'm going to take the cover off, and Virginia, on your copy, I don't know if you know this, but take your cover off and open it up. Here we go. Oh, Stacy, great. You're ready to go for April 1st. So this poster is inside of that book. And you better believe I'm going to tack that little puppy up. Virginia, did you know that that poster was there? Okay, Virginia Dare. Okay. So Virginia, did you know that that poster was on the inside of the cover? So that is so cool. Oh, look, right in front of me. Look underneath the flap, a poster. So that is definitely going up. Okay. Okay, so I have to take off Burnett. Oh, Jillian, hello. Good to see you, sweetie. Jillian's in the house. Yay. Okay, so you guys know that I would never, ever, ever show you something beyond your capabilities, right? So what this book is, it's a walkthrough of how to draw and add simple shapes and items to your pages. Now, it's got the image on the left and then the blank page on the right. Now, I don't know, I don't think I'm going to draw in the book. I don't know yet. I got to see. But what I want to show you here, and I always recommend that you do this in pencil first. So get yourself a really cool pencil that you like to play with. Da, 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 da. And what I want to show you out of this is if you want to add simple things to your pages, you can. Zoom in. Now, I don't know if it helps you to specifically go through the steps, but for me, it would just help to see the image. Now, remember, when you're drawing in pencil, I suppose it would help if I stayed on camera. When you're drawing in pencil, that allows you the opportunity then to go ahead and fix anything that's wonky. Okay? So right now my teacup, my saucer is a little bit wonky, so I can go ahead and fix that. And then what I would do is just ink that over when I'm happy with the shape. But I want you to see, can you imagine being able to draw? And then we're going to put in a little shading. Now I'm going to do this all in pencil right now, okay? So we put a little shading there. We're going to put a little shading here. We got a little shading there. And then along the bottom. Zoom out. And now you've got a teacup. And then all you have to do is go ahead and add your steam. Now, I promise you, I have not drawn any of these before, so I'm doing this first time as well. So again, you can do a smaller one if you want. Let's say that you're doing a particular coloring and you want to go ahead and add a teacup to it for whatever reason. How straightforward is that? Everybody see that? And then you go ahead and add your shading on the top and the side. A little bit on the bottom. There you go. Anybody have any questions or comments about that? And the neat thing is about this book is it's got everything in here that you can follow. Now, if you don't follow the exact steps, that's fine. Me, if I see something, I usually can reproduce it. But I want to give you a couple of tips on how to do that. Okay. Now, on this side then, or the next subsequent pages now, you're going to see designs on how to either paint all that in or color it in. So what do you guys think of that? Is that something, oh, I suppose it would help if I added the handle, right? You go back. There we go. And the really neat thing about these books is that these are meant to be sketches to help you. Stacy, can you hear me okay? Okay. 50 ways to draw your beautiful ordinary life. You can take a shot of that with your camera. So the thing that I want you to see on here is that this goes through very straightforward ways to draw things. So here we've got the top here, and I'm just going to draw that. And then I'm going to come in underneath that and just draw another long oval. And then I'm going to come down and come over and draw a little filigree on the bottom and come over and come down. And then we'll go ahead, what we're drawing is a cabinet, right? And then you can draw a little drawer on the bottom if you want. And then you just come down, draw a little oval, come down, draw a little oval, and a pointy. Come down, draw a little oval, come down, draw a little oval. Hey, Dawn. There you go. Now, my openings are a little small here in perspective, but if you want to go ahead and put in like a little cup here, you can. Zoom in. You can go ahead and draw a little bowl in here. And again, guys, these are just your rough outlines, okay? Well, Dawn, come on in and relax for a few minutes and you can watch this. And if you want to show your perspective here as far as having the shelf inside, and then let's go ahead and put in a few plates. Okay, everybody see how straightforward this is. Now, I'm going fast. Well, not fast, but promptly. And what this does is this shows every single step here on how to do that. So I need you guys to sit tight with this. Don't blow this off. If you've ever, and I'm not going to draw each one, don't get me wrong here. We can go ahead and we can draw a little stool. Hi, Wanda. We want to put our little edge in here. Then we want to go ahead and draw our legs. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be off camera again. Zoom out. Show the book cover again. Okay, 50 Ways to Draw Your Beautiful Ordinary Life. Practical Lessons in Pencil and Paper. And Virginia Dare got this for us, Dawn. Okay, so as you page through the book, it shows you how to draw items like towels. Let's say you want to put a towel on uh, your coloring page. It'll give you the outline for a sock. Here's a nice little wood-burning stove. Zoom out. Here's a modern type stand, shelf stand, bookcase. And then these are the things that would go inside of your bookcase. All right? Let's say that you wanted to go ahead and draw a little journal for some reason, or a book. Zoom in. Zoom in. Here's a very straightforward lesson on how to do that, and to decorate it, and to color it. Tammy, good to see ya. Zoom out. Let's say you wanted to draw a little envelope on your coloring book. Now, if you can sit down and draw something like that without a prompt, hey, great. But for the rest of us, I like to have a little prompt. So I'm going to put a little heart there. I'm going to go ahead and curve that up. I'm going to angle that in. Oops, that's all right, we're good. There you go. Simple little envelope here. Okay. So these are just showing you different mediums that you can use. Here's a chair that you can draw. A wicker chair. Here's a cupboard. And the neat thing is too, is if you want, you could trace this just to get the hang of drawing it. And let's say that you wanted to go ahead and put a little jar. Zoom in. Now, I'm going to remind you again, I have not drawn these before. So we angle that out a little, and we're going to make a little ruffle on the bottom, and then we come down, and we make a little smiley and come back up. Okay, my ruffle's off now a little bit. That's okay, we did it in pencil. And then we'll go ahead and add half an oval. And then maybe draw a couple lines like that with cherries. There. Straightforward, guys. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Now, keep in mind, I've told you this, I will never ever show you something that I don't think that you can't do. Now, wait until I get towards the back of the book as well. So again, this book gives you places now where you can check this or do the samples. It talks a little bit about vanishing points and perspective. Now, don't go nuts about this. It just shows you about how to make something smaller in the distance. If you're drawing this bed and you just make it a little bit narrower at the top, then that's going to give you proper perspective on it. That's all that is. Don't let it throw you. Okay. So here's this house. This is the fold-out page on it. To give you things to follow. And then here's how to draw. So if you can draw these little cubes and follow the prompt, there's no problem with it at all. So if you were going to do that, I'm not even going to trace it, I'll show you. So you go ahead and draw your square, okay? And then we draw one line down, one line over, and one line over there, and that's awful. Okay, let's try it again. So we'll come over here and go down and then go up. And then you just erase whatever you don't like on your piece. So you could draw, and then go ahead, you add your outline. Now again, I'm doing this quickly and very roughly. It wouldn't be wiggly like that. So there's your cube to go ahead and draw your overall house. Now, how hard is a window? Not at all. And then we're going to go ahead and go through and draw here. And then we come down and draw over. Draw a couple windows. And again, I'm sketching very quickly, guys. But I just want to give you a feel for how straightforward this is. And then however you want to draw the rest of your windowsill, go ahead and do that. Come down, come over, down, there you go. Remember when I drew those concrete blocks the other day? So these are all things that you can add very easily. It takes you through the steps, for example, zoom out, how to draw a sideboard. It gives you the initial shapes. And I'm going to be flipping through now a little quicker. And if you notice, here's a nice little filter coffee pot. So all they want you to do on that is draw your line here, come in a little, go there, come down, round off a little bit. There you go. I'm going to throw on my handle. A little big. When I go to ink that in, I'll ink it smaller. And then we'll go ahead and draw the bottom part, which is just these two little lines coming in. And going around there. Just roughing in that handle right now. There you go. So now we've got this filtered coffee pot. Put that. Put our little filter on top. Oop. Angle that in. Angle that in. So the main thing I want you guys to see is that you're just working with some basic shapes here. So if you wanted to do, for example, that little pouring teapot, let's see, then we come out and come up and come over, thing, come out and down, and now you've got your little teapot. Okay? All right. And you can always trace your images too. All right, so now we're going to go through. So here's tracing, and the book gives you tracing paper. There's 3 sheets here. You tear them out. See? And it tells you how to draw a lamp. How many times have we had that we wanted to put in a little lamp or something on a table? Your basic shapes, and then your final piece, and then your practice page. Here's an old matchbox. Basic shape, add your little detail here. Here's our teapot again, a better one. Okay. So here's a little thing that I want. It says just start, and I'd like you to understand this. You may have been taught that when drawing, you have to draw your subject as true to life as possible. But why exactly? The new rule we've learned, and the best one so far, is that there are what? No rules. So here are a few insights and ideas to get you started. So here we here we talk about a few rules. Number 1 says keep your eye on what you're drawing 80% of the time, 20% on the paper. So don't fixate on the paper. Draw what you are actually seeing, not what you think you are seeing. For example, you might think that a plate's a circle, but it's not. It's an oval. Don't worry about perspective. Number 4, yes, tracing is allowed, of course. Number 5, the use of light and shade is easy to forget. Don't forget to hatch. Number 6, who says the sky always has to be blue or the grass green? Dare to use a different color. Number 7, find a drawing you made a few weeks ago. It still needs work. Add some watercolors or color in parts of your drawing with what? Colored pencils. You can always add new things to your drawing. So here are samples of paper, images of paper that you can draw on, and it'll say illustrate your shopping list. If you have carrots, draw a carrot. Lay the things from your handbag and draw them out. Copy a picture that's been hanging in your house. See, the whole idea here, guys, is to just get that freelance sketching going. Okay, so let's look at some garden things. Here are some images for your plants. Zoom in. So let's say that we want to go ahead and draw that sage. So we just go ahead and draw like a saucer. Put a line down the middle. Make another little saucer. Put the line down the middle. And then we're going to go ahead and connect that to two lines. Then you can make another little saucer, line down the middle, and then we'll go ahead and branch out some here. Little saucer at the top. Put another one in here. Okay, everybody see how I'm doing that? Make a little saucer, put that in there, make another little saucer, put that in there. Now, as I told you, whoops, there's a little wonky one. This one was in an accident, by the way, guys. Okay. So your center stem would need to be just a little narrower, that's fine. There, how does that look? And as Virginia said, train your eyes to see the shapes of stuff. And if you can draw those shapes, that's why I said draw a saucer. Flying saucer is what I meant. So what do you think? Did I pick up the essence pretty well? See, they did really well. And then when you go back in with pen, you go ahead and make your corrections that you want to make. Okay, so here are some other examples. Zoom out, zoom out. And the key, as Virginia said, is look at what your basic shapes are. If you can draw a straight line and then two lines down, you've got the bottom part of a little garden shovel. Here's an idea, this clothesline. You get yourself a piece of paper. You can use your gouache paint if you have it. Throw some paint on there, some background, the gelatos. Put some clothes on there. Now, it says here that this is a good exercise in drawing environments. Focus on the negative space and background first. Me, I would probably draw the clothes first. But no biggie. And again, guys, I'm drawing this for the first time. I just literally got this book, what, about an hour and a half ago, and I was stuffing my face with dinner. So, all right, so let's go ahead and make this little pot here. So I'm just going to make a double line circle here. And I'm going to come down and roll that bottom and come down and roll that bottom. Okay. Now I'm just copying what I'm seeing here. We'll go ahead and draw the clothesline without clothes. So let's go ahead and do the metal band, right? Which really should be curved up a little more. That's fine. Now, the reason I'm doing all this, guys, is I want you to think about this for your coloring. So let's go ahead and put in a few of these little sticky things. So what we're really doing right now is we're just working on the little stems for the flowers. And I promise you, first of all, the first time you do this, you're going to look at it and go, ugh. But if you practice that, you can make some really neat things. Okay. So right here on this little tall guy, okay, I was supposed to make a couple of lines out here. Do you guys remember when I did the inkwell? No, the ink house. And I drew in quite a bit from that and the tree and so forth. Zoom in. See, I made a little dead flower here. So now I'm going to go through and make my little ruffles. Okay, so there's my flower. And then over here, I'm not sure what kind of flower this is, but that's okay. Probably an orchid. So what do you guys think so far? Look at that. Zoom out. And then we'll go ahead and make a little pinwheel. And make a couple of leaves there. See that? And then what's really neat is you get the hang of it, you'll start putting in your own things. For example, you may want to go, well, you will go to your coloring books. There. See how I added that little extra tulip right there? And then the really neat thing is after that, you can go through. So that's steps 1 through 4. And now we have steps 5 through 7. And that's when you start adding your detail and then you start adding your color. Okay? Okay. And here is a finished product. Now, if you're feeling really nervous about doing something like this, you can take a piece of computer paper and a good light, and you can go ahead and trace this. And if that's what helps you to get the hang of it, have at it. Everybody see how I did that? Okay. Zoom out. Then they give you a little insert here to draw on little pieces of paper to do sketches. Here's our watering can, a porch swing. Boom, 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 done. Here's another porch swing. Here's a few little plants. You could draw that, very easily. Okay, and now we have, this is a section from Amy Blackwell, and she's talking about how to draw a bird. And she pulls you through the different segments. Again, if you want to get the hang of it, trace it. Then go freehand. Okay, drawing on colored paper. Look how easy it would be to add a little castle in the background. It's a very versatile reference book. And then they give you this big, huge section of colored papers. And each of these are perforated. Isn't that neat? Here's a fruit bowl, basic shape, finished piece. Making a keepsake recipe, you draw your images on your cards. And again, your basic shapes. Here's a real quick one, how to draw a radish. Let's see if I can do this. So basically we want to draw almost what looks like a balloon with a, well, almost like, you know, on a comic book you have those little, oops, I didn't leave enough room at the top. Okay, let's try that again. Okay. And then what we want to do is we'll go ahead on top and I'll put about 3 or 4 lines going out this way. And then I'll go ahead and around that I will draw some little fluffy lines. See that? I mean, guys, how hard is this, right? Zoom in. I'm just literally, look, I'm just wiggling my pencil to make those leaves on there. And again, so I'll make a little side leaf. I promise you, I did not practice this before. So we come up, maybe make a little line there, come up again, bumpy, make maybe another little bumpy, come down. And then I'll go ahead and add a little bit of shading on the left. Now, these are a little bit far apart. When I do this again, I would do it closer together. So maybe I'll do one like this. Yeah, and then put it behind. Oh, I like that. Now that looks real to me. And then we'll make the little squiggly for the root. Zoom out. What do you think? Yay, nay? I could see if you're coloring a picture that has rabbits in it, you put a little radish in there and then you ink it. Okay, now let me show you about inking because some of you may not know what I'm talking about. I have different weight pens. Excuse me while I get some water here. So what I would do, zoom in, zoom in. So if I were drawing this radish and I'm pretty happy with it, now I would go ahead and I would just go over it with my pen. And this is where you correct any boo-boos that you made. So Jillian, am I driving you crazy because you're an actual artist? Okay, everybody see how I'm doing that? So then I take my little wonky shaped balloon and draw that, draw my little squiggle, maybe put some dots right there. Okay, I'm going to take this a step further because I want you guys to see this. I'll tell you what, I got to let this dry. I'll come back to that in a minute. We'll come back to the radish. Okay. So the key to this, as Virginia said, is you look at shapes. Zoom out. I mean, honestly, guys, how hard is it to draw two lines like this and one line coming down and an almost square and a little boat at the bottom? And as I said, you can trace stuff if you want to start out that way. What you want to do is you want to train your hand to drawing whatever shape that you're interested in. You guys hear that thunder? Whoa. Okay. So here we can do a little face. We want to go ahead and draw you with that. And whatever hairstyle that you want to make. Probably a little higher here than I should be. Okay. So then you want to draw a couple of eyebrows. And in this case, the artist actually, they're not the eyebrows, they're actually the lines to make the nose. And remember, we're not trying to go exactly, we're not going true to life, right? So we're going to go ahead and draw this, and draw this. And we can draw a little extra curl if you want. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to go ahead and draw faces on your coloring books, but I just want to show you. So here are the steps to do that. Not my best effort. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my radish that I drew for you. And I'm not going to use my electric eraser, and I'm very lightly going to zoom in, zoom in. Oops, didn't draw half my leaf there. Okay. So you very, very lightly want to erase your pencil. And once you do that, then your drawing is really going to pop. Now, if you guys can color, which you can, because that's why you belong to this group. Okay, Virginia, again, thank you so much for this book, for the group. Okay, so I just drew in the rest of my little leaf here. And I'm going to go ahead and start with my pink base. And the thing that I like about this book is the emphasis is on not trying to exactly copy the object, right? Here, let me go back to the radish. It's somewhere. Where is it? Give me a second. There we go. Zoom out. Okay, now my radish is a little pointy, so what? So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color that in. Pencil, gelatos. Go ahead and color over that pink with the red. Darken it a little bit on the edges. Excuse my arm. And I'm going to go ahead and throw some green in there. as my base. And again, I'm just doing this like super, super quick, guys. And then I'm going to go through and darken my leaves. Guys, look how cool that looks. And I'm telling you, I am not an artist. I am not an artist. But if you can mimic what's on the page in front of you, you'll be just fine. Okay, and now I'm going to take a dark green, not that one. Okay, give me a minute. Then I'm going to take my dark green here, zoom in. Now, if you've got a coloring book and you have garden related stuff, maybe with a rabbit or whatever, and you want to go ahead and add extras to it for whimsy, zoom out. Okay, what do you guys think here? Did I nail it? Zoom in. What do you think? Snow, maybe. And then, of course, you just clean up your space. Oh, hi, Helen. Now, you guys know that Helen is putting out a book on how to draw. So this is right up her alley. And my question to you is, if you saw that in a coloring book, would you know that I had drawn it? Isn't that cool? Okay, that's the value of this book. And I promise you, once you've been doing this for a little while, it's like anything. I've taught you guys how to color mushrooms, and now you do it with your eyes closed, right? Not figuratively speaking, of course, or figuratively speaking. Zoom out. Zoom out. All right, so let me go through. Let's see, we got that. Here's a little putty tat and how to do that. Circle with a couple triangles, zoom in, zoom in. A little squiggly line here to make the tail, and then your lines to make the bottom, and then you color it in. Now really, guys, you can do this. Zoom out. Isn't that a cute little cat? Okay. And then once you draw your cat, you draw your window. Can you draw a rectangle with two lines on it? Of course you can. You can put your cat sitting on a dresser. Can you draw a rectangle with 2 lines and then 3 circles down the middle, of course. And then there's the plant. Here we've got some hats. Here are some collars. Hi, Melba. Didn't see you. And there's some coloring ideas too. Okay, now here's another neat thing too. The book includes, remember our paper dowels, guys? It's some paper dowels here. And what they're having you do is to draw clothing. Isn't that cool? Yeah, as Helen said, hats are great for additional focal points. Okay. So here's some dolls to draw on. And then some ideas to do your coloring. Okay. Swedish mittens, whatever those are. If somebody knows what those are, cool. So you make your little lines here, a little wiggle on the bottom with 2 thumbs. Add your patterns. Here's some more patterns. And then there's a bigger shot of it. I really want to inspire you guys to add your little doodads. Here you go. You don't write letters, you draw them. Have you thought of making the letter B and then doing this inside like that? Zoom in. Zoom in. So let's say you're drawing something and you want to emphasize the letter of the alphabet. There's a way to do it. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. These are little hand exercises to loosen your wrist. Here are some ideas. Zoom in. Now, you know that Johanna Bosford does this all the time, is you put your letter in and then you start drawing in, zoom in, your little doodads. Doesn't have to be flowers, it could be a radish, radishes and leaves. And you know, guys, even if you just get ideas from this book, that would be great. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. So here's an idea on how to do a script D. Let's see if I can do this. I'll get there, Melba. So we come down, we go around, we make a pregnant lady, come back up. There's our D. And again, you're doing this all in pencil, right? And it doesn't matter how wonky it looks in pencil, right? Because now, can you imagine that in a metallic? Oh, I'm going crazy here now. Hold on. This will teach me to start something like this. Okay. Won't use that. It's too loose. Okay. So my metallic markers that I showed you last night, zoom in. Okay, let's see if I can do this without doing too badly with it. Now, again, if you need to change the width or the direction of something, you can. Right, downstrokes are thick, upstrokes are thin. Yeah, they said that on the previous page. So look at this, guys. Isn't that cool? Let's see. So I'm going to do this letter. Yeah, I'll show the cover in a moment. Okay, I got a little too much here, but that's okay. I'm stuck with it because I'm doing it in metallic. So let me see if I can do this without making it too pregnant. There we go. And then I'll just go ahead and thicken whatever areas I want to thicken. What do you guys think? Isn't that cool? This one got wonky. Let me try one more and then I'll move on. Oh, there we go. See, you get better as you practice it, guys. So we'll make that a little thicker, make that a little thicker. Give it the thicker end. Let's see how they did it in the book. Yeah. Yeah, isn't that radish cool? I'm proud of that. Not bad for never doing it before, huh? Okay. Zoom out. There's the book title. If you want to go ahead and take a shot at that with your computer. Now, by no means am I saying that you're going to, draw everything. You're not. And you can go on the internet. Here, look at this R. You could make a really neat R with just it's a vertical, a U this way, and then a little wonky part right here. So many ideas. Okay, so then we've got a little postcard. They give you little extra postcards to play with in the book. And look at this, guys, little flourishes and accents. And the reason I'm showing this is I think that there's so much in here that you could do to add to your books, your coloring books. Just the idea is going to help you. Let me get my pens out of the way here. I think I need a new sheet of paper. See? Look at this. Zoom in. Zoom in. So let's say you're coloring along. I'll just go ahead and use my marker again. Ooh. So you draw your line, you do your little one, you do a next big one, you do a tall one. There. Boom. And you could just do a little tiny one here if you want. And just practice. You could add that to your coloring books. So let's see how we would do this one. I would maybe go like that, and then I would come down and make a hanging boob right there. And come down and make another hanging boob. Now obviously you practice that. Come down. Everybody see how I'm doing that? Okay. Not well, but okay. Here's a teacup. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. See, there's Grandma's teacup. That next one. Here's an idea of arrows, by the way. This is such a wonderful idea book too, guys. Okay. Then we have sketching style, talking about coloring with hatching. We've talked about that, where you have the line art, not grayscale. This is just talking about where to sketch, but they're nice images. Here are the pieces of a bicycle. Okay. Here's a lumberjack. Here is drawing an image of your hair, for example, as a shape and just coloring it in completely black. Using your colors, your eyeshadow that I showed you for coloring faces. So let me read you something really quick here because this is important. This is from the illustrator. A teacher once pointed out to me that in drawing there are lines people and there are shapes people. It clicked for me that I am definitely a shape person, and my drawing improved when I focused on large areas of color rather than perfect outlines. Okay? So these are advice people, the artists are giving. Loosen your grip on your pencil and relax. Draw every day just to make shapes. Don't try too hard to draw neatly. If you only have 10 minutes available, put on the timer daily and use that time to create. In a year, 10 minutes a day is 60 hours of work. Use inexpensive paper and a favorite medium and have a great time. So here are a bunch of ideas here for you. Okay, now I wanted to show you this too as well, decorative borders. So let me turn the book because that helps me. Zoom in. All right, my D is showing through, but that's okay. So how would we draw a decorative border around a coloring that we've done? So you just draw your line. Okay, and then you go through and just draw your little black blobs. Honestly, guys, how hard is that? Not hard. Zoom in. And you can make your border as light or heavy as you want. I'm using a heavier weight pen. And then when we go around the loop, we'll just do one here sticking out. Do another one. You're just doing little teardrops. Just pick a shape and run with it. And if you feel the need to do this in pencil first, which is what I would suggest if you've never done this before. Oh, perfect, Stephanie. Oops, there's a little wonky one, but who cares? And once you practice this, it becomes absolutely nothing to do. It'll be so second nature to you. The only thing I'm doing is just making sure that I don't do one exactly across from it. Zoom out. Guys, look how cool that looks. Now, let's say that you're coloring something on your page. Okay? So I want you to watch this. Here's an idea for you. So I'm doing my little teardroppy things. And And let's say I come across an image on my page. So we could go like that and come out the other side and go around and go like that. Ignore this other stuff that's on here. I just want to give you an idea. I'm hoping that I'm hearing some light bulbs. And then we go, Christy says use different colors for Christmas lights. Yeah. Use different colored pens, use different colored Sharpies to do your border. Now, I'm going to make it look like my one little droppy thing, teardroppy thing is going behind my envelope. And the thing is, as you are starting to do this and seeing things, you know, how we think about buying stencils and stuff on eBay, you can start making your own shapes, guys. Because as you get comfortable with drawing and get out of that stupid mindset that says I can't do this or I can't draw, you can make some really neat add-ons. You guys hear that thunder in the background of my house? Good grief. And the neat thing is as you're doing this, it's going to give you other ideas. And that's what's so much fun about it. Now for the Christmas lights, you'd want to do a slightly different shape, more of a rounded shape. You go on Google, you look at what a Christmas light looks like. Practice it in pencil. Oops, accidentally did a side by side, so what? Okay, no biggie. Look at that. Zoom out. What do you think? And then here's my envelope that I drew earlier. Got my little heart in there. Got my little rounded flap. Got my straight lines. Zoom out. There you go. I'm enjoying this. Okay, let me turn that. Thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you think, guys? Throw those hearts at me if you like it. And remember, everything that I've drawn in pencil. And then you can go back and you can correct in ink. So if your teacup is too wonky for you, when you go to do your actual one, just draw it differently. Well, good, Stephanie. I'm glad you don't feel alone anymore. That's the whole idea. And then we'll go ahead and throw some steam on that. Melba, yes, blobby little things and teardrop little thingies are technical terms. That is correct. Thank you for helping me clarify that. You see, the thing is, guys, as I've been doing this, you'll notice my drawing's been getting a lot better. Oh my. Gotta do something here. I know you can't help teasing me. I love it when you tease me. But see, I'm teaching you blobby little things. Now, my pen weight, guys, on this is a little bit, yeah, I know you meant love. Yeah. So my pen weight was really a little too heavy for this plant. Zoom in. So this is where you're going to go through and you'll go with a lighter pen. You want your pen weight to match your drawing. That's why I've got these different pens. And again, I'll let my ink dry, and then I'll go through and erase all my lines that are underneath that I drew this with. So that's why I said if you screw it up with a pencil, you can fix it with your ink, okay? Now, the other neat thing about this book that I want to show you, I am so proud of that radish. Doggone it, guys. That is a good radish. I may cut that out and frame it. Just kidding. Okay, so the neat thing about this book too, zoom in, get to focus. Okay, now what they do is they show you the basic shape that you're doing. So when you're doing something like this where you're doing a repetitive border, you have it that you can emulate. Now, like I said before, one of the things you can do is you can see this through the paper because this is that, it's just computer paper. So if you are not sure how you want to draw this, what you do is you just go ahead and trace it. And what that does is that's teaching you the strokes that you need to make to do this little puppy. So once you convince yourself that you can do this, because you've got to do that. You've got to convince yourself that you can do it. I know you can do it. If you can color the cool pictures that you're coloring, you certainly can do this. Okay, see how I'm doing that? So there's another little border that you can do. And this pen is a little light, so I'm going to go back to my heavier one, I think. think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Yeah, that's right. Okay, let me get you back in focus. Zoom out. See, I'm going to do this freehand now. And again, I would go ahead and do it in pencil first, so you don't scare yourself. But once you get comfortable with it, you can go ahead and well, I take that back. I want you to do it in pencil. Get into the habit of doing this stuff in pencil, always. Now, just be careful that you don't get going in the wrong direction. And what you might want to do while you're doing this, for example, so that you don't accidentally like go up and to the right, is take a pencil and draw a horizontal line, okay? And that's going to kind of give you a guidance of how you need to draw this. Yeah, see, I'm a little off kilter already with this, but that's fine. And if you do something like that and you've done it in pen and you're off kilter, so what? Okay? Make it part of your drawing. Oh, I see what I did. I should have come off. Okay. So this will come off here like that. Does all this make sense, guys, to what I'm showing you? Okay, so then we'll come off there. And on this one, if you want to go ahead and add extra swirlies, you don't have to do exactly what the book is showing you. Oh, isn't that funny? I made two identical spots. Aha! Look at that. Didn't even mean to do that. Now, when you're doing this little guy here, the thing you need to remember is you need to give yourself a little bridge here to keep the pattern going. So once you get into that, you'll be fine. So anybody have any questions or comments about this? And again, this pen is a little heavy. Well, it's not. It depends. If you want your border to be heavier, that's fine too. But what I want you to do is always do this in pencil first. Okay? Zoom out. There you go. And again, the really neat thing with this is you'll start thinking up your own ideas. So here's this one with the little loopy things on the bottom. Oh my gosh, guys, ridiculously easy. Look at this. And then put your little dots here. Zoom in. And the really neat thing is you can start launching off that. So you do another line, you do another set of bumpies, okay? And then you do your dots. There you go. And you've got yourself a really fantastic border. Okay, now let's see how we would turn that. Okay, so maybe you can take that one there and go there and then go bloop, bloop, bloop. Just depends what you want to do, if that makes sense. And then let's say that we've got the same little border here and we want to turn the corner. So we'll do that, that. Yeah, there you go. You just got to play with it. And then put your little dots. Anybody have any questions about this? You guys have gotten so quiet. Zoom out. Zoom out. This, guys, is just from tonight, showing you this book and all the creative ideas, adding stuff to your pages. So now what I've got to do is get a coloring page and add a couple of these things so that you can see that. Okay, here's some other ideas for you. And here's the idea too of using a pattern on top of something in your coloring book. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. So you could go ahead and create your pattern and put it on top of the hand. See how that goes. Isn't that cool? How's my sound level tonight, guys, by the way? Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay. More ideas. And once you figure out the pattern and what's being done here, you're going to see how ridiculously easy this is. Okay, Ronnie, thank you. I got to use my indoor voice. So, see, they show you the basic pattern, and then all you have to do is repeat it. All right. So the next section on this talks about art materials. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I just want to show you. But here are some more drawings. Here's how to do a swim cap with a design on it. Some images for nature. So these are your drawings here's how to draw a camper with areas for you to practice. Okay. Now, interestingly, I don't know, this person here says all of my designs begin with making paper cutouts. This one says I use Pantone books for everything. Tin collection, just an idea here. Here's some wood cabins. This looks familiar. Dawn does stuff like this. Here's how to do a thermos with a little flower design on it. And then we've got a little tutorial on watercolor. And then this book has paper to do the watercolor on. Here's a little thing how to draw flowers. See, you draw a little heart, draw your little leaves here, and then you've got your little, I want to say bleeding hearts. And believe you me, when you're doing this stuff, you will start coming up with your own stuff. How to draw a seagull. And again, notice that all artists use basic shapes. These little, saucer here, circle, triangle, a little loopy here. You need to start seeing your things in terms of shapes. There's a tent, there's a little campfire you can draw. Remember on that one book, I went ahead and I was doing the Christmas with Santa by the fireplace. And I did the fire. There's help doing that. Okay, and then we have a little bit about color. And then we have about hatching, shading, dark to light, dots, color palettes. Okay, Ronnie. And here's how to do an apple tree. Here's how to draw a plant. Very simple shapes here, guys. And then it says keep on drawing. More prints, they print here. Paper patterns. Look at this. Here's drawing a couch. And you may not have thought about that. And here are some more samples. Okay, so that's the end of the book. Oh, this is cute. Irene and Astrid, I love it. Okay, now here's something interesting. Zoom in. Zoom in. So it says Irene Smit and Astrid Van Deerhulst are the creative directors of Flow magazine, a popular international publication packed with paper goodies and beautiful illustrations that celebrate creativity, imperfection, and life's little pleasures. In 2008, inspired by their passion for paper and quest for mindfulness, Irene and Astrid dreamed up the idea for their own magazine in a small attic and haven't looked back since. They live with their families in Haarlem, Netherlands. Zoom in. So there's a screen if you want to take a pic of that. And then you've got that information. Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. And then we have, it looks like they use wash paint on here. Isn't that pretty? So there's some more ideas for backgrounds. Isn't that pretty? I sometimes think there is nothing so delightful as drawing. Vincent van Gogh. Okay, so that's the book. I wanted to show you that. There's the cover, just in case you didn't get it earlier. And I hope that that inspire you guys. And there's my little drawings that I've been doing all evening to show you. And again, I promise you, I did not do any drawing out of this book ahead of time. Very nice of Virginia to get this. So yeah, that's from Virginia Dare. All right. I love my radish. Here, let me turn that back up. I did that. Oh, Melba's laughing at me. Okay. So let me get that out of the way. I hope you guys enjoyed that little treat. You never know what you're going to get when you tune in. So now I'm going to do some more coloring from Enchanted Fairies. And we'll play around with this a little bit, get you back in focus. Enchanted Fairies. Some enchanted night. All right. So let me put my paper behind there. Good night, Pearl. If you guys want to thank Virginia, tag her in a post in the group, which I would encourage you to do if you enjoyed this. Okay. So last night I was working on my metallic paints I got from Ohuhu yesterday. Good night, Maddie. Oh, Melba, radishes and salt. You better believe it. Boy, that sounds good. Now the next time I'm at the grocery store, you know I'm going to be picking that up. Okay, so let's play with this a little more. Okay. I bet you guys weren't expecting that for a lesson. Do, do, do. Yeah, I think Virginia had to bug out. Okay. Miss Tammy, good night. Yes, please, 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 especially this video, guys. Okay. And cucumbers, yeah. Okay. Absolutely. If you guys are in the balcony and you're watching, feel free to say a quick hello. So, were you guys able to hear that thunderstorm earlier that was moving through? We've got some really bad weather. And if anybody has any questions or comments, I don't know. I haven't seen Lila. She, yeah, out with Allie. Uh-huh. Yeah, that was funny when you said that. Okay, now what I want you to notice is I'm using different shades of purple in doing this coloring. So I don't want you to just take one pencil color and do this coloring. Now, if you don't want to lay down the pink as your base color, that's fine. It just depends the look that you want. You could lay down a blue if you want. Yeah, that frog sounds cute. A little guitar music in the frog. Okay. I'm going to move you back just a little bit. There. Yeah, I bet you got excited when you saw those campers. I thought of you. Okay. Now, I like to build my colors, and that's why I like to revisit my spots multiple times. And by that I mean I'll lay down one color and then sometimes I'll go back, I'll go to something else on the page. But in this case here, by no means am I done with what I'm trying to do here. Oh, Melba, that sounds cool. Okay, now as you are coming around this flower, you need to be careful because you're doing your outside edge with your purple, and that's going to come in a certain distance. Zoom in. Oh, Ronnie got her Cali Arts today. Ah, yay! Totally different than the water base. No blending. You lay down your base color and then you put your shading and shadows and whatever on top of it. Ronnie, do a search on Wild Soul in my group and watch how I did colored the face. Okay, so I gotta look at this here. You'll get there, Melba. So Ronnie, you go up to that little magnifying glass and you type in keywords wild soul, and that'll take you to the videos where I use the alcohol markers to do the face. Oh, and your water base will be here tomorrow. Yay! Okay. Hey, we'll get you up to speed, Melba. Okay. Lila and I are going to be cellmates. Yeah. Okay, so I want a really soft, creamy look for this flower. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm taking my blender pencil, zoom in, well, Melba, actually, that's going to be so much fun when we get you back on air because you've got all that experience with your acrylics. Okay, now does everybody see the difference between this left-hand side and this right-hand side? Zoom out, zoom out. See that? So this is after blending, this is before blending. And I am not pressing hard at all. Now what I want you to see is how, like I said, how soft this flower is starting to look. And the thing we need to keep in mind now is we've got these, they're, lack of a better word, they're harsh metallics because I can't blend them. And you also want to be very careful how much you blend, because at some point in time you're going to fatigue your pigment and or your paper. Okay. Now you can see this purple is starting to pick up the colors from the fairy wings. And truth be told, you know, I mean, I was just experimenting last night with these different colors. So now we got to work on making all of this work. And Melba brought up a very good point last night. Well, Melba, I'm going to have you take it over from here. Remember last night what you were saying about the balance of the piece and how you correct for that? Don't be shy. Okay, now I'm going to take my white Prismacolor. Yeah, and I actually have the Arteza metallic in the tubes and the Ohuhu metallics in the pens. Okay. And now what I'm going to do, yeah, last night, Wanda, when we were talking about the colors and the balance, your comment last night, I just want you to reiterate it so that we can talk about it for everybody. Okay, everybody see now how this is starting to make this flower look really soft. And what I want you to see is from this point over, we've got a really soft, dreamier look with colors. And that's because I'm using white pencil on top. And what Melba recommends, yeah, right. So what Melba recommends is that you take a picture of your work and take a look at it and see where your darks and your lights are. And what she was commenting on last night, rightfully so, is that we've got some darks up here, and our darks and lights were getting out of balance. Right, exactly, Wanda. Because what will happen now when I add those blues is your mind is going to start seeing the connection between the flower and the wings. So what we're all telling everybody here is you want to balance your darks and your lights, and you want to also balance your colors. That was so funny. Jeff was driving me crazy the other night when he was doing his coloring because he doesn't clean up his little splotches. And I always clean up mine because I just like to do it because I have clean air. I like to work on clean areas. And I kept thinking, Jeff, erase it, erase it. Okay. Okay. And what Wanda is saying is the flower needs some balance on it. And this is where you're going to add your blue because you want your eye to see that. And the other thing that I like to do with pictures as well, which helps, is your mind right now is looking at this as a girl sitting on a flower and wings. If you turn that upside down, your mind doesn't quite see it that way, and that's when you're going to start seeing your balance. So pursuant to what what Wanda is saying, here we've got all this blue, but nothing down here to balance it. So that's going to look pretty wonky. So don't forget to turn your artwork upside down. Because that makes sense to everybody. Okay. And now what I'm going to do, oh, your fairy's finished, Wanda? And guys, I will say this again. We have a lot of artists now coming into this room, and I don't want anybody to feel shy or embarrassed about saying something. This is a teaching group. Okay. You just turned your fairy upside down and she's getting a headache. Oh, you are bad. Now, what I'm doing is I'm putting a very, very light tint of that blue into this flower. And what I want you to see, so right now, this little segment right here has that blue, okay? And you can do this one of two ways. You can either do it in a subtle way, where it's very hard to tell that you've done that, or in the case of a flower, you can go ahead and be a little more obvious about it. So what I want you to see is as I'm adding this blue from this segment over, how much richer and balanced now all of this is going to look. Exactly, Malva. So what you should be seeing now is with this blue being added in this portion of the flower from this point over, not only does it look richer, everybody see that? But it also now balances out with the rest of the picture because I've got that blue on top. And especially now, I mean, I've got blue here, which is very obvious. I've got it here and here, and then on her dress. I thought that was kind of cool how I made her dress the two different colors. I liked it. And Melba, with more and more artists coming in here, like I said, I have absolutely no qualms. I have no ego in this at all. Okay, everybody see how richer that looks? It's still soft, but it's very rich. And now you're going to see how this whole piece is going to look better as I carry this blue around to the other side. Everybody see how really cool now this is looking here as opposed to up here? And the really neat thing is if you were putting these pages side by side with someone else who colored this the same way but didn't add this extra touch as blue, your piece would look so much richer and so much better and balanced. And people may not exactly know why. Okay. And that's exactly right, Melba, because she said all the designs we use to color on, whether it be paint, colored pencil, whatever, they are just designs. You are the artist. And you're the designer with this. Okay. Now, what I'm also going to do, and this is what I said, is that you can add either your hints of blue and not have it be so obvious, or you can go ahead and incorporate that into your design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow little spurts of blue here on these tips. Well, hello, Lila. So I'm just going to tint this flower with the blue. And be careful about being too regular with it. The neat thing about flowers is that you can do stuff like this and it looks right. And from what Lila just said, Wow, that flower is pretty. I rest my case. Thank you, Lila. Okay. Lila, you can't be hanging out with Allie when you should be here. Oh, Wanda. Oh, my. Okay. Allie was asleep and I couldn't wake her up. Okay. Well, Allie, you really, or Lila, oh, jeez. Lila, you really need to watch the beginning of this video. Zoom in, zoom in. Okay. Now, since I did the top of this fairy in the metallic, I ended up covering up all the lines. So now when we go to do the bottom part, which I'm choosing to do a little differently, see how that works. Is I'm going to be pretty aggressive with my coloring on the bottom part. And remember that I told you that you want to work your lines here. So you're going to be sure that when you color, you cover them up. So I'm going to go through now. And the reason that I'm doing the bottom half now, not in the metallic, Lila says, watch my mail tomorrow. Ooh. Yeah, those wings are looking flat. I agree with you. So have the ribs come out from the body outward. Yeah. Yeah, those top wings are really bugging the heck out of me. Okay, now what I want you to also notice is when I'm coloring this middle section here, I'm deliberately sloppy coloring it and going over the lines. Tamper down that black. Okay. Zoom out. Zoom out. Now we've got a little bit of pink in that top. Well, initially I basically got rid of the ribs because I wanted to have that flowy feeling. Let me see something here. Oh, that'll look cool, Wanda. No problem, Wanda. Oh yeah, you bet I'll take a look. Oops, right outside the line. Did you tag Ruth in it, Wanda? Now, one of the things that we need to be careful of, and we've talked about this before, is you don't want one area to override another. You want each thing to look great together. Zoom in. And to stand on its own, but you also want it to harmonize. Colored pens? No, but I was thinking about putting in a little bit. I've got my glitter. Yeah, I've got my glitter that I can put on there. Okay, now what I want to show you, because it's getting near 10 o'clock, let me get a little more of this pink in, and then I want to show you something. Okay, so the color above is a duller pinkish red than this color. And when you run into that, you want to go ahead and you want to tamp it down. I'll look at it after the broadcast, Lila. So I've got this brighter pink, and I want to match that metallic above. But I did want a little bit different on the bottom here. So what I'm going to do is tamp that down just a little bit. And I'm going to do that by applying a top layer of brown. And I'll pull out in a moment to show you how this is all will come together. And of course I'll have to fix my purple flower a little bit here by the pink because I had to erase. There we go. So I've got a little bit of metallic here in the bottom. Zoom out. And now I've got that just backed off so that I don't have a conflict with it and have it sticking out like a sore thumb. Okay. So when I get the other side done, you'll see how that looks. And then of course I'll pick up that color in the border. And I'll look at putting some glitter on those to make some ribs. And then we'll get that metallic not looking so flat and dull. All right, guys. I think we're in good shape. I hope you enjoyed what I showed you earlier. Something totally new and different. Well, Lila, the reason I did that is because that upper wing was not picking up as red, which is what the metallic color said it was. So I had to change my color scheme a little bit. It's getting there. This whole thing is an experiment with those metallics, so we'll see how it comes out. Okay, guys, don't forget that this is the book that I was showing you earlier. Take a look at it. I think you're going to like it, and you'll see me incorporating into it. So take care. Have a great rest of the evening. I still love my radish that I drew for you. Oh, that's a silly thing. Had a lot of fun doing these little sketches for you. And the borders. So, good stuff. You guys never quite know what you're going to see when you get here. Okay, guys. See you tomorrow night. Same time, same place. Have a great Saturday night. Keep safe with these storms, which are now raging outside of my door, my window. Bring the salt. You better believe it. I'm telling you, next time I go to the store, I'm going to subconsciously pick up radishes, I bet. All right, guys. Love you to pieces. Have a great rest of the evening. Stay safe. This is ILene Vick. Joy and joyous, joyous coloring. You know I'm always going to say that. Have a great rest of the evening. And I will see you, like I said, tomorrow night. Okay, guys. Yeah, I will think of you. You're right, Melba. I'll be ever forever linked now with radishes and Melba. All right, guys. Take care. Bye.